Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to participate in the debate on the Distribution of Gas Amendment Bill 2024. Mr. Speaker, I've heard the backbenchers debate since this afternoon on the bill and on the hydrogen. It seems that hydrogen is a godsend gift to humankind to save our world, and that there's all praises about the bill and about the government's policy in respect of the hydrogen development plan for Sarawak. Being the only two opposition, the loyal opposition to the state and the TYT of this house, myself and elected member for Pending, we have a duty to give a balanced view, a balance of alternative views about our hydrogen policy in the state. Yes, hydrogen is regarded as a clean form of source of energy. All right, Mr. Speaker, this stems from the trend of decarbonization being made one of the largest humanity's biggest goal to be achieved by 2050. Net zero carbon emission worldwide, and many countries have adopted that agenda. And that's why there is a hype to switch from fossil fuel to hydrogen as the alternative fuel. The general perception is that hydrogen, when combusts in air with oxygen, the byproduct is energy and water is clean, and therefore it is a clean form of energy. Mr. Speaker, hydrogen, although is the most common element in the universe and plenty on Earth, but you can't just pluck it from the air like we breathe the air in the atmosphere, or you can't just extract it from the Earth like how you extract fossil fuel. It has to be extracted. Hydrogen molecules has to be extracted from some other molecules, and there are few processes at the moment that has been applied to extract hydrogen from other molecules. Right? There are the gray hydrogen, there is the green hydrogen, there is the blue hydrogen. It can be extracted from methane molecules. It can be extracted from water molecules through electrolysis. Those extracted from methane molecules or some fossil fuel molecules, those extracted from the fossil fuel molecules are regarded as gray hydrogen, the process. And those extracted from methane or natural gas molecule are regarded as blue hydrogen. And the hydrogen extracted from the process of electrolysis of water is regarded as the green hydrogen, which is the cleanest form of energy source. So green hydrogen, and most sought after commodity now for energy production. However, to produce hydrogen through electrolysis, there is also cost involved. See, Mr. Speaker, to produce 1 kilogram of hydrogen, you need about 55 kilowatt hour of electricity, because electrolysis runs on electricity. So you need electricity to break up the water molecule into oxygen and hydrogen, H2O. That requires about 55 kilowatt hour of electricity to produce 1 kilogram of hydrogen. But how much can 1 kilogram of hydrogen produce in terms of energy when it combusts in the air? it can only produce about 40 kilowatt hour of energy. That 1 kilogram of hydrogen took about 55 kilowatt hour of energy to produce, but it can only generate 40 kilowatt hour of energy. Therefore, the energy efficiency of hydrogen at its best, i.e. green hydrogen, is about 75%, which means there are certain electricity loss along the process, because you have to convert the molecular form from water to, you use electricity to create hydrogen, and after that you use hydrogen to generate electricity. Through this conversion, there is the loss of energy, and that is about 25% of energy loss in the whole process of generation of hydrogen. And that is what I say, how I would turn it as a cost of production of green hydrogen. Bearing in mind what YB Pending has stated just now about how you are going to store it, how you are going to transport it. Today we are debating a bill to regulate how any licensee is to be regulated to transport or store or sell or generate hydrogen. Just to let the Honourable Minister have peace of mind, I'm supportive of this bill. I will support this bill. I think it is an industry where you need regulation. You need regulation. You can't just leave it to any private sector to run it. But there are certain things that we need to look at. Certain views, alternative views about this hydrogen industry. Whether the government should plunge in such a big scale, and then whether the government is very successful in the whole hydrogen industry. So that is our view as a lawyer opposition in this house. All right. Now I come to the storage and the transportation. There are certain issues. There are certain disadvantages of this hydrogen as compared to fossil fuel and other fuels. All right. Number one, it is highly flammable. All right. According to the study, the hydrogen gas ignition energy is 20 times smaller than that of a natural gas or gasoline. That means that it is 20 times easier to explode, to light up hydrogen than normal gasoline. And that's why it is regarded as highly flammable. And to transport it, you need to transport it in a very high pressure condition. Or to store it, you need to store it at a very high pressure condition. How high is the pressure? You need to transport it in a condition which is about 350 bars to 700 bars. Okay, what does that mean? All right, 350 bars. It means it's 335,000 kPa. Mr. Speaker, do you drive a Mercedes? The tire maximum tire pressure for a Mercedes is about 350 kPa. Imagine, to transport hydrogen, you need 35,000, which is 100 times the maximum pressure that your tire can take. So that is the amount of pressure that you need to store and transport hydrogen. And and it must be kept in the condition in a liquid form, and which is 250 degrees Celsius, minus 250 degrees Celsius. So any accident, it will be disaster. So that's why we say, you need to, there must be very stringent laws regulating the industry. And Mr. Speaker, yeah, I will like to seek clarification and queries from the Honourable Minister on the issue of the two hydrogen hibiscus and hydrogen hornbill investment that has come to Bintulu, and which, according to the backbenchers debate, will create a lot of jobs, opportunities, economic return to our country, to our state. It was mentioned in his tabling the bill that there's about 200,000, the two plants will produce about 200,000 tons of hydrogen annually. I don't know whether that would be 200,000 tons of green hydrogen or blue hydrogen. Just now, Bending was mentioning that a mixture of green and blue. But just to give the context to what is 200,000 tons of hydrogen to be produced. All right, Mr. Speaker, to produce 200,000 tons, let's say if it is by way of electrolysis, and that per kilogram of hydrogen you need 55 kilowatt hour. So to produce 200,000 tons of hydrogen, the amount of electricity required per year is 1.2 gigawatts. It's approximately 1.2 gigawatts. That is the whole of Baram. The electricity generated from the whole of Baram just for these two plants. Is that what the government is installing for us? And with that, how much are we, what are the price of the hydrogen that is produced to be sold to Japan or Korea? Whether it will recover the investment that we have put in constructing the Baram Dam. Everything has a cost to it. So in order that to justify such a huge investment, to allow such a huge investment and the use of such amount of electricity in Sarawak, and mind you, Mr. Speaker, these are green electricity, which is a very valuable form of commodity. Now, given that decarbonization is the trend globally. Right, so I would like to seek clarification and answer on how many Sarawakians were engaged for the construction of these plants. What are the, the average, their wages are paid, their position, and the return on from these plants, so as to justify the government making such a hue and cry on the investment. All right. Lastly, not lastly, second last point. Second last point is I've heard many have said that this Sarawak now is in the forefront of this hydrogen technology, hydrogen industry. But as a Sarawakian, I want Sarawakians to feel proud. Right? We must take pride in what we do. But pride on one thing. Kata di bawah tempurung is another thing. Alright? Okay. So let me show some statistics in this house. Let me show some statistics in this house to put some of the members here in their places. Okay, this is about the statistic of let me see. Now the number of green hydrogen production facility worldwide as at 2022. All right, it goes by the country ranking. Australia, there's 96 plants. 96 plants green hydrogen production facilities in Australia as at 2022. Germany, 50. Spain, 50. Netherlands, 48. United Kingdom, 46. US, 37. Russia, 36. Portugal, 28. China, 26. Chile, 22. We are only 2 in the making. So I think there are a lot of progress worldwide in other countries about green hydrogen production facilities everywhere. Yes, it is good that our country catch on to this bandwagon and catch on to this global trend. But given my observation about the danger of hydrogen and the cost of hydrogen production, I think there should be the government should have certain reservation in the implementation of the state's hydrogen development plan, and not only looking at the bright side, hearing the beautiful stories about hydrogen, but omitting or just ignoring the downside of hydrogen. So with those remarks, I will support this view.